Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Welcome back to Ho. Today we're going to manifest more good stuff. Today we're going to manifest more generosity. So I really feel like my first instinct is we're probably already pretty generous. Would you say? I feel like we're a generous bunch. In our lives. That's just kind of what I'm picking up on. I feel pretty generous, but could I be more generous? Absolutely. Could I be more generous with compliments? For sure. Could I be more generous with my love? Yes, and yes. Could I be more generous with my money? Yeah, I would be if I had some to be generous with. So I just was generous with my time. I'm getting a late start here today, because I'm doing really good. This is the second day that I've walked down the lunches. I've done it twice. I feel like I'm a success. So I said I wanted to walk down my neighbor's lunch. I've been delivering lunches to the kids, and I thought I'll just walk down. Well, that's going great so far, but apparently, according to the weatherman, it's gonna rain for the next 2 days. So isn't that funny? Sometimes you're like, I'm gonna start a new exercise routine, and then something just gets in your way, like the weather. So anyways, I had a great day yesterday. I did go to Walmart. If you're following my personal saga, I should just keep you abreast on what's going on. I went to Walmart, was having a good time in Walmart, seeing lots of people that I knew. I saw my son's Nana, his grandma, his Nana, and she's like, do something with your hair. I love small town stuff. You go and you see people, and Nana's this sweet little Puerto Rican grandma, and she's yelling at me, did you even brush your hair? Did you even brush your hair? You have to do something with your hair. So that's a classic trip to Walmart for me in a small town. You know people, and sometimes it's people that can tell you to pull your hair out. So I pulled my hair up at Walmart from my Nana. It was really crazy. My hair was insane. Also fun at Walmart, I ran into a lady that I had met at the library a while ago, and we hit it off so good. So I kind of made a new friend at Walmart yesterday. It really was a good trip to Walmart. And I told my new friend Marta about that I needed a vehicle, and she's like, I have a car for you. She's from Russia, and she's like, it was a BMW convertible that you have to know how to drive a stick. It's not automatic, it's a standard. So it was a great car, but not quite for me, because I don't know how to do that, and even though she would teach me. So it was really a fun Walmart trip. Then I came, oh my gosh, yeah, I was like, what else do I need to tell you? Yeah, I came back. Guess what I ended up doing? Making apple crisp. You guys, I did it. I made 2 pans of apple crisp. I'm talking 9 by 13 big ass pans of apple crisp, and I took one over to my neighbor. Now, it wasn't the best apple crisp in the world. Honestly, the pan that we kept was a little dry, because I guess that's what happens when you don't follow a recipe. You just make it according to what you think should be an apple crisp. But anyways, I shared it anyways. I followed the advice of my tarot cards, and I shared it, and I think that was good. And then guess what I did after that? I push mowed the yard for 3 hours, and I literally fell into bed last night. It took all of my energy. I showered, I cleaned up because I was covered in grass, and I was sleeping good again. So I guess that's what I need to do. I need to physically exert myself like every night with hard work, and I will sleep. Okay, so anyways, that's why my morning was off to a slow start, because I feel pretty subdued. I feel very docile because I'm exhausted, but in a good way, definitely in a positive way. Like, my hands hurt from pushing the mower, but it's a good hurt, you know? So anyways, that was my yesterday. So today we're coming back again together, and we're going to manifest more generosity. So we only have 3 cards, but they're big cards, okay? And I love that they're all weird cards. So we have our dragon butterfly from the Enchanted Blossoms Oracle at Generosity. It's on a honeysuckle, and it's a white admiral butterfly, which it has more black than white. It really is like a black butterfly with these beautiful white, not quite at the edges, but like, oh, it's incredible. But yeah, there's more black than white, but it's called a white admiral. The honeysuckle bush that I have next to my driveway is in full bloom. These honeysuckles are white. The ones that I have, it's like a bush, and so it's a type of it, and it's pink. And every year I used to take my girls out and do like a photo session in front of the driveway bush. So we're gonna do that again today, just for fun, because they brought it up. They're like, are we gonna get our picture taken in front of the driveway bush? That's what we call it, the driveway bush. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So that'll be our first card. Then our next card is a card from the Galactic Heritage deck by Lissa Royal Holt. And we don't get to use this one too often, but I'm excited to. It's number 68, Generosity. It's a future card from Lyra. So that should be interesting. And then our third and final card is number 10, Generosity, from Whispers of Lord Ganesha. And in this card, Ganesha is sharing, I don't know what that is. It looks like a little white puffy piece of maybe candy or fruit. Whatever Ganesha is eating, he's sharing one with his mousy rat friend. So he's sharing his food. So anyways, sharing food seems to be a good way to be generous, especially if you have more than enough. I had more than enough apples, although my children ate that entire pan of apple crisp within 30 minutes. They devoured it. Like, truly, I could have saved both pans for my apple crisp hungry children. I got like one tiny dish, you know. Like the person who peels all the apples, cuts all the apples, does it, stands by the hot oven for an hour, gets one tiny little dish. But that's fine. That's fine, man. That's all I wanted, and I wanted to be generous with the rest of it. But it is funny because, you know, kids are funny. But yeah, if you can be generous with food. I've been taking down those school lunches to the kids, my neighbor's kids, and yesterday they drew me pictures and cards that said, thank you, Sadie, you're a food saver, and they had like all these drawings of their favorite fruits and pizza and, you know, like whatever they liked from the lunches. Like, I'm not making the lunches, I'm just delivering them, but it was really sweet that like they were appreciative. And anyways, what a bunch of sweeties. So yeah, generosity. How generous can you get? And you know, I would say don't limit yourself to thinking that generosity is just giving someone money. There are a multitude of ways that you can be generous in your life. You can be generous with your time. You know, giving someone your full attention is definitely generous. Do you hear my chimes? How can you not? Summer recording is going to be interesting because the wind definitely blows. in that window. And I do love the breeze. I'm loving the breeze, you guys. And I'm loving the wind, and I'm loving all the flowers, and I'm loving the lilacs, and I'm definitely trying to stay in love with life. So thanks so much for coming back. Let's dive into these cards, get a little quick, I don't want to say like to do or prompting, because I feel like we already know how to be generous. We already would be generous. We don't really need to be prompted, but maybe there's something that we can learn. Like, I guess I'm coming at this like I already know everything. So I'm just reminding myself that there might be something in these 3 cards for me to be reminded of or inspired of. And yeah, let's just go at it. Okay, here we go. But before we do, let's do our affirmations from Comfrey, because Comfrey is our herb of the week, teaching us to repair our lives, look at what needs mending, and, use the resources that we have. So that'll tie into generosity, because, whatever wealth that we do have, we can share. So if my only wealth this summer is an abundance of Sweet Annie plants, and it just so happens that Sweet Annie is an herbal remedy for the coronavirus, like, perhaps that will be my generosity to get the plants to the people. So there are many, many ways that you can be generous, even if you have not a dime to your name, but it's in the middle of winter and you're the only neighbor on your street with a snow shovel and a good back. Maybe you could shovel everyone's steps and sidewalks, and you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things you can do to be helpful and generous, and your generosity can really spring forth in many different ways. All right, here we go. This affirmation minute is brought to you by our glorious herb of the week, Comfrey, and I dedicate them all to you. Thank you. I know when to break down and dissolve the old. I allow the elements to help heal me. I repair my broken pieces by becoming whole again. I manifest personal power. I give back to the earth. My health is my greatest wealth. I am joyfully creating my life by giving form to spirit. I know when to break down and dissolve the old. I allow the elements to help heal me. I repair my broken pieces by becoming whole again. I manifest personal power. I give back to the earth. My health is my greatest wealth. I am joyfully creating my life by giving form to spirit. And so it is. All right, yeah, those are so good. I don't know, they're just so real, I know when to break down. Yeah, dissolve the old. So yeah, I do feel a little bit broken down, but kind of in a relief way. Like my eyes are tired. I've physically exhausted myself, emotionally. Like, I'm gonna really let go of the old. So the other thing that was cool yesterday was after I ran into my son's Nana, I told her that I was looking for a car, and now his uncle is on the job too. So I literally have everyone and their brother searching for a vehicle for me, which is good because June is coming up here quick, and then I really don't think I can drive an unexpected vehicle around any longer. So I'm excited that I feel like my vehicle is finding its way to me. Whew. All right. Generosity. What does that mean to you? Are you a generous person? Do you feel like if I would say, are you a pretty generous person? Like, do you feel generous or not? See, I definitely do think that I could be more generous. Like, for example, when when I go to ladies' night, like I'm not usually a regular attendee. So a lot of times, like they're like, "Can you go?" I'm like, "Okay, I'll try to get there." And like I show up with nothing to offer, because like sometimes I just couldn't get together. I don't have anything. And some of these women like bring all this gourmet food and they're like really giving. And I'm really starting to feel like I can learn how to do that, like be more generous. Like that was really out of character for me lately to share a whole pan of apple crisp with somebody, So I would like to bring my generosity more to ladies' night, just putting that intention out there. And be more, like I gave my mom a really good Mother's Day gift. That was good. But like generosity, even though if you asked me for something, I would give it. I've had times in my life when I was more generous and then I got out of the practice of it. So generosity is kind of interesting for me personally. All right, so this beautiful butterfly, the white admiral, is on the honeysuckle with its sweet nectar reminding us of summers gone by. Honeysuckle is mostly native to China. More than half of the species is cultivated there. Its tendrils have been used to make rope and baskets for centuries and are still used for that purpose by hobbyists who enjoy working with natural materials. Honeysuckle bushes are used in gardens to attract hummingbirds and butterflies, and it can grow generously and voraciously. Yeah, I have to keep cutting the one side so that it doesn't scratch the cars. So anyways, carrying honeysuckle, like just carrying a flower, is thought to lift one's spirit and encourage generosity. In A Midsummer Night's Dream, Shakespeare writes, "Sleep thou, and I will wind thee in my arms. Fairies, be gone, and be always away. So doth the woodbine the sweet honeysuckle gently entwist." Does anyone here speak Shakespeare? So anyways, living generously and helping others can give you a sense of purpose and lead to a longer, healthier life. Be giving with yourself first. Be giving with yourself first. Find little things that will lift not only your mood, but your soul. This card may be making an appearance because you've been so wrapped up in the day-to-day grind that you have forgotten to take care of yourself. Commit to doing something that makes you happy every day. This is not about indulging every whim, but doing a few small things that make you feel good without taking anything from others. Once you are giving yourself joy, you can begin sharing it with others. Be altruistic with your money, your possessions, or your time. The more you give, the more you have to give. Okay, so this card brings up a smart thing. It's like, yeah, before you can be generous with others, you need to be generous with yourself. It's like you can't give from an empty cup. So it's like you really do need to get into that happy, joyful place that you're taken care of and you're doing what you love and you're fulfilled. And then you will want to share and give with other people. Yeah, you don't want to be forced to be generous. It's something that you want to do. And yeah, once you're giving yourself joy, then you can share it with others. The more you give, the more you have to give. So yeah, I love that saying. I don't know if we'll come across it in any of these books today, but it goes something like, how does it even go? But it basically is saying if it's yours, you can give it away. you know, if you can't give it away, it was never yours to have, or something like that. But it's like, yeah, like if you have gifts, like if you give them away, then like they really were your gifts to give. So I don't know, it's sort of like an anti-hoarding message, but or just, you know, give of your talents and your humor and your entertainment and your love and your laughter. And yeah, like giving is an interesting thing, but yeah, you have to be giving from one, the right place, and two, a filled place. Like, yeah, you want to give from an overflowing cup. So it's an important reminder for you to fill yourself up first, get yourself happy, get yourself joyful, and then you can share it with others. So The Enchanted Blossoms by Carla Morrow leaves us with two questions. How can I be more generous with myself and others? What do I have to offer? So yeah, these are the two questions I was sort of kicking it off with right away. How can I be more generous with myself and others? So it didn't cross my mind that like when I heard the word generosity, I instantly thought of giving to other people. But I will tell you that that's mainly because I already do a damn good job of giving to myself. Like, I'm good with self-care. Yeah, like I definitely know how to take care of myself. But yeah, now I'm getting to the point where like I am feeling good. I'm happy. I feel like I've got an abundance of resources in a lot of ways. I want to give now. It's not like I should give, like I actually want to give. I want to be nicer. So like, you know, the last time I went to ladies' night, and I really thought to myself, I really want to start bringing something. Like, I want to be more giving. Now, what's interesting is last year when I went, remember that was the year of my marriage going down, and I had like no money. Okay, like literally like there was no food in the house to share with. There wasn't hardly anything here. Now that I'm a single mom, I got some food stamps. Thank you government. I literally could always take something. I'm not even sure what I should take, because like I'm not really that great about being creative like that, but I could get better at it. I could just even take some spinach, organic spinach, like as a side dish, or you know what I mean? Like I think this is going to be a new thing for me. If I'm going to go to ladies' night, at this point, I'm not going to show up empty-handed. Those are my intentions. Like I'm at a place now where I have lots of food and I can share. So how can I be more generous with myself and others? What do I have to offer? Think about that. How can you be more generous? Do you want to be? I mean, you should, if you want to manifest more generosity, then think to yourself, well, how can I be more generous? What do I have to offer? Yeah, good questions. All right, so that is our dragon butterfly, the white admiral, just setting us off, you know, getting us thinking, what do we have to offer, and how can we be more generous with ourselves and others? All right, so now we're going to go galactic. We're going to go to the Galactic Heritage card. It's a Lyra card, so the top of it's real bright yellow, and the word is generosity, and this is a future card. So I'm just going to read it, and you know, so this deck is all about the different star beings in our galactic heritage, and this is about the Lyrans or Lyrans. I'm not sure. I always say Lyra, but then I want to say Lyrans. All right, so I'm gonna let my dogs bark to the other dogs across the street. Like I love that they're being social, but I also want them to shut it. Gracie. All right, you ready? An ancient challenge of the Lyrans, and we're supposed to learn from them, okay? An ancient challenge of the Lyrans was to have a generous spirit. they had a fear that if they gave to others, they would not have enough for themselves. Eventually, they healed this pattern. Humans are now facing this same challenge as they explore the issue of generosity. Most people have no problem being generous when they feel safe and secure. But can you be generous when you feel insecure? Examine your patterns of generosity honestly. Are you afraid to give, or do you have resistance about receiving? So examine your patterns of generosity honestly. Like, are you afraid to give? Can you only give if you feel like you have more than enough? Do you have any issues of lack or insecurities? How about receiving? Are you a good receiver? Like, if somebody wants to be generous with you, do you accept it and receive it or not? So really, this is a good day to be contemplative and really think about any patterns that we have with generosity. Balance lies in being able to give and receive equally. This is a true path of transformation. So giving and receiving in equal measure. Some people are excellent givers, but just terrible receivers. Like, they won't even let you give them a compliment. Oh, no, you don't say that. I look terrible today. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even say you look pretty. Like, they can't receive anything. But I think the thing that stuck out for me is like, yeah, like, I definitely have some lack mentality to heal from being poor for a long time, and still kind of, but more and more I'm unattached to stuff. I feel like I don't need as much as we've been trained to think that we need. And I'm really seeing that, like, even like thinking like you got to stock up on food, like food keeps finding us. But yeah, I do have some of that to heal. Definitely some Lyran energy to heal up. So this Lyran time stream represents the Lyran culture after they healed their karma and the challenges of the past when they were a young species. So one of these challenges of the past had to do with their selfishness and insistence on viewing reality in a fragmented way, which only accentuated polarity and kept them from acting from a place of me first. So yeah, this kind of attitude ignores the truth that all beings are really one consciousness looking through a multitude of eyes. So over time, as they matured, they learned that by helping others, they truly helped themselves. So once you realize, like, oh my God, we're all one. Oh my God, we're all in this together. We're all really one consciousness looking through a multitude of eyes. So I am another you and you are another me. And so why the hell wouldn't we help each other? Right? That's what they figured out as they matured. Like, by helping other people, they were actually helping themselves because they're all one consciousness. So yeah, this card, I mean, if like we're doing a reading and it comes up in our reading, like we can look to the other cards in our life situation for clues. But it could be that you are receiving a message to become more generous in life, not through actions per se, but through the intent behind those actions, which is much more important. Conversely, it could be a message that your generosity is being offered from a motivation that is not aligned with your spirit. It may also mean that you are being too generous and depleting yourself. So yeah, our generosity topic will be different for each of us depending on where we're at in our life. But yeah, that intent, like, are you giving because you feel guilty, or are you giving because you want to be helpful? The intent behind the generosity makes a difference. I mean, I can sign a check and donate $1,000 or something, and so can somebody else. And it can have two completely different energetic responses and deliverances. Like, someone might actually be really happy to be signing that check. The other one might feel like they're being punished. On the surface, they're both being generous, but the intent behind the actions is much more important. So make sure that your generosity is aligned with your spirit. Make sure that it is in balance. You don't want to be depleting yourself by being too generous. Search deep within for the deeper meaning of generosity and what it means to you. Ultimately, when you keep in mind that all beings in creation are part of the same one being, the understanding of generosity changes completely. Begin to see your generous actions in a way that reinforces the idea that all giving is really giving to yourself. So yeah, all giving is really giving to yourself when you see yourself as part of a collective, when you see yourself as one consciousness. So yeah, like when you start to see that, it's like you want everyone to succeed because everyone is you. I mean, you're a different lens, you're a different perspective, you're seeing through different eyes, but ultimately it's the same, all that is energy. It's the same consciousness. So then it's like, well, of course I want to help everybody because they're a part of me, or we're in this together. However you want to look at it, we're part of the all. So yeah, when you give to others, you're really giving to yourself. It's a total different game changer, you guys. Like, when you start just for fun, huh? Just to see how it sits with you. When you start to look at people today, pretend in your mind that they're you, that they're just a different you. Now, when you look at them as you, as, you know, maybe a part of, you know, you could just even think like it's a past you or future you or different you. Do you want to help them or not? Like, if they need help, why wouldn't you help them if they were another you? So it's an interesting, different way to think about it. Like, if we're all in the same soup, in the same consciousness, same soup pot, like, wouldn't you want it all to be good? You know? I don't know. It's a whole different way of looking at life because we've been so, like, you know, the ego thinks it's separate. We're not connected to anybody. Everyone's out to get their own, get what they need. And it's like we've gotten away from being generous just as an inclusive thing so that everyone is taken care of. It's like that story about the little African boys in the tribe that, like, if they get like let's say like a loaf of bread or a sweet treat, they'll sit in a circle and make sure that everyone has some before they eat because they want everyone to have some. It's like, you know, they don't leave anybody out. It's this collective generosity. So yeah, we can really look at generosity from so many different angles, like, and then try to figure out if there's a part of us that's not feeling generous. Why is that? You know, is it we don't think we'll have enough? Because that was a really good question. Like, yeah, it's probably easy to be generous when you're feeling like you're in like an abundant place. But like, let's say you weren't really in an abundant place. Could you still be generous? Like, this is like, I really feel like in a lot of ways I could, you know, but yet I've also had such times of struggle that I know how like people get into like look out for yourself mentality. Like sometimes I've shared the story, you know, my friend, my one good friend who's a farmer, a few springs, and she's done this a few times to me. Springtime will come and she'll say, "Hey, do you want some of these butternut squashes? They've been in the cellar all winter. They're gonna go bad." And it's like, thanks for offering to me now, but like, you know what? If you would have offered them to me in the fall when they were fresh and not covered in mildew, I probably would have liked them better. Do you know what I mean? Like people hoard and not share, and it's like and now like the story that goes along with that is I really had a rough winter that winter, and I was like, dang, like I could have used these during the winter. Now I don't need them in the spring. But people hold back and don't share. Like they'd rather like throw out food than give it away for free, or they would rather like throw it out in the garbage instead of give it to somebody for free because they paid for it. I mean, there's a lot of like selfish examples I could put out there. And it's like we have to stop ourselves and be honest. Well, how many of those apply to me? Right? Like, how generous am I? Not saying that you have to give everything that you own away and the shirt off your back, you know? But it's like, dang, if you got the wealth and abundance, and we're all in this together, why not make sure everyone's taken care of if you feel the call to do it? All right, ready? I'm rambling because I'm exhausted. Number 10 is our last card. Like, I'm tired, you guys. Mowing. The yard looks awesome. It looks awesome. Now I really need to go out there. I have the old chicken coop fence, the dog fence thing, and I was gonna put my container garden in there. Well, it's like a jungle already. So I gotta figure out what I'm doing with that. I almost feel like getting an old carpet. I think I have one in the garage, and putting that in it. Because there's an abundance of grass growing up in it. All right, ready? Here we go. Last card. Number 10, generosity. This is from Whispers of Lord Ganesha. Now, Ganesha is like adorned with jewels, and he's always got an abundance of food. He's definitely got enough. And in this card, he's also under a big blue sky and a mountain in the background. So it seems like he just was walking along and he's sharing with his friend. But let's see what it says, and then we'll see if like we can be prompted to manifest more generosity in our life. So yeah, generosity to self, generosity to others. And then when somebody wants to be generous with you and they want to help you, I think it's nice to receive that. All right, so let's see what Ganesha says. Compassion for others is a natural result of being aware and conscious of your own feelings. I'll read it again. Compassion for others is a natural result of being aware and conscious of your own feelings. When you are generous in spirit, you take complete responsibility for your life. Work with Ganesha to assist you with stepping up to do the right thing. This is especially important when you are filled with fear and conflicting feelings. So Ganesha says to respect others and live a conscious life. Champion others, support them, and actively want them to succeed. Living from this space will create an open heart and an open mind that will touch anyone who comes into your presence. Be tolerant of ideas and behaviors that may not align with your own thoughts. Spend more time looking at what is good and positive in someone else rather than what you judge as negative or bad. Embrace others' differences. Ganesha also says to give freely, and give from your heart. So give freely and give from your heart. Choose to no longer manipulate and do not do favors with strings attached. So we want to give with an open heart, but not with those intentions of manipulations or with strings attached, like, okay, I'll give to you, but then you better fucking give back to me. Or like, I'm going to be nice to them so that when I ask them a favor, they're going to have to say yes. See, that's dirty giving right there. That is dirty giving. That's like how my mother gives to me. Like, my mother is very generous, but there are always strings attached. So that's why I want to buy this car with my own money and not have to owe her too much money. So anyways, as you continue to give, you may find that you no longer envy others. Interesting. As you continue to give, you might find out that you no longer envy anyone else. You will be able to give easily and at the same time receive when the same is offered to you. This will go a long way to eliminating the feeling of being separated from others, and you may find yourself genuinely happy. Look for and assume the best in people, and treat others with respect and acceptance. So yeah, there's a lot of incredible things to be had from genuine, honest generosity. I mean, one, people who are honestly and just generous without strings attached, they're not trying to manipulate, like they're just truly generous. There's a real good chance they are truly happy. They are truly joyful. They are truly content. They are truly at peace. They are not envious of others. They do not have ulterior motives. So this type of generosity is definitely something to sought after in our lives from a pure place. I would definitely say I have lots of work to do with it, because even just, like I see people's generosity as with strings attached. So like I haven't cleaned that energy up in my life. So maybe as I become more generous in my life, I'll be able to be a better receiver too. Yeah, I didn't realize maybe, I did realize, but maybe I didn't realize the extent that I'm realizing right now of how, like, yeah, when people give to me, I feel like I owe them, like even like my patrons, they give me $1 a month. I feel like I owe them my best, like I definitely, I guess, have like a lot of like, as far as receiving generosity, like, oh great, like that would be great of them to help me, but then I'll be in debt to them forever. So then it's like you don't even want people to be generous to you. Interesting. So yeah, definitely we need to manifest more generosity to ourselves, to others, and being better receivers. That definitely goes hand in hand with looking for the best in people, respecting people, accepting people, seeing people as an extension of you, because you are all included in the same consciousness. Dang. Big stuff. So that's manifest more generosity. I really definitely am loving all these questions of contemplation. You know, what do we have to offer? How can we be more generous? Take an honest, evaluative look at yourself. Do you have strings attached? Are you giving from a pure heart, open heart, or not? I mean, hey, it's okay to be honest because it's okay because we want to be more genuine. I'm assuming if you listen to this podcast, you're like me, you would like to be a more genuine person and manifest more generosity from a pure place so that you reap the real rewards of generosity, peace, contentment, just a feeling of abundance. Like you're not jealous anymore of anybody because it's like, you know, you have everything you need and you would help anyone in need, and you just give it. You give it because it feels good to give. So anyways, that's generosity. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you, Ganesha. Thank you, Lyrans. Thank you, White Admiral Butterfly and Honeysuckle. I like it. I love the idea of it. I see where I need to work on it and practice it. I would definitely say generosity is like a combination of a practice, a mindset, and intentions. So anyways, on that note, thanks for hanging out. Let's manifest more generosity.